Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is practice exercise 9 in our SolidWorks Beginner Series. If you're just starting out or looking to sharpen your 3D modeling skills, you're in the right place. We'll go step by step through the basics and build simple 3D models together. On our channel, we consistently upload tutorials, tips, and tricks to help you keep improving your CAD skills. We also cover different CAD software so you can explore new tools and workflows as you learn. And if you ever have a question or get stuck, feel free to drop a comment. I'll be happy to help. Now open SolidWorks and let's get started. Alright, this is the starting interface. Since we're going to create a 3D model, let's begin by opening a new part file. You'll see the welcome dialog on the screen. Click on Part to open a new part file. And that's it. You're now in the part modeling environment and ready to start designing. Before we start modeling, let's take a quick look at the drawing to understand the key dimensions for the base feature. Here you can see there are two solid features. One is the vertical block with a hole cut and a rectangular cut, and the other is the pair of rounded arms with holes. We'll simplify these solid features while creating the base feature. Remember, all dimensions in this drawing are in millimeters. Let's review the main dimensions that will help us create the base profile. The height of the vertical block is 180 millimeters, and its depth is 35 millimeters. The rounded profile has a radius of 30 millimeters, and the two holes in the arms each have a diameter of 30 millimeters. The upper portion of the vertical block is 90 millimeters tall, which is exactly half of the total height. The armholes are positioned 45 millimeters above the bottom surface and 45 millimeters from the front face of the vertical block. The entire profile will be extruded to a thickness of 86 millimeters. Keep these dimensions in mind and sketch the closed profile exactly as shown in the drawing. Before we start modeling, let's take a moment to make sure the unit system is set to millimeters. Since all dimensions are in millimeters, this step keeps the design consistent and accurate. Now, let's start creating the base feature. Go to the Sketch tab and click the Sketch tool. The three default planes will appear. Select the right plane as our sketching plane. Under the Sketch tab, select the Line tool. Move your cursor to the origin and click to specify the start point. Then move vertically upward and click to place the next point. Continue sketching the remaining lines and the arc in the same way to create the closed sketch. After the sketch is closed, select the Circle tool. Move your cursor to the center point of the arc, click to define the circle's center, and then create the circle inside the closed sketch. Now it's time to add constraints. Give the vertical relation between the two endpoints of the angled line, and then apply the tangent relation between the connecting lines and the arcs. Next, let's add the dimensions. Activate the Smart Dimension tool. Set this vertical line to 180 millimeters. Set this horizontal line to 35 millimeters. Set the height of this vertical line to 90 millimeters. Set the arc radius to 30 millimeters. Set the circle diameter to 30 millimeters. Set the vertical distance between the arc center and the bottom horizontal line to 45 millimeters. Set the horizontal distance between the arc center and the vertical line to 45 millimeters. Once all the dimensions are applied, the sketch should be fully defined. Now, let's turn this 2D sketch into a 3D model. Go to the Features tab and select Extruded Boss Base. In the Direction 1 drop-down, select the midplane and set the extrusion depth to 86 millimeters. Then confirm the feature with the green tick, And that's it. The base feature is complete. Next, we'll continue building the rest of the part step by step. Now, let's remove the material to define the rounded arms on the top surface of this inclined angled base. Take a quick look at the drawing to understand the key dimensions for this extruded cut. As shown in the drawing, the profile of this extruded cut looks like a rectangle with a length of 56 millimeters and a depth of 50 millimeters. The depth comes from 20 millimeters from this edge, and the remaining 30 millimeters is the radius of the arc, bringing the overall depth to 50 millimeters. Each rounded arm has a thickness of 15 millimeters. The cut extends to the angled surface. Keep these dimensions in mind and sketch the closed profile exactly as shown in the drawing. Let's get started. Go to the Sketch tab, click the Sketch tool, open the Feature Manager tree flyout, and select the top plane as the sketching plane. Here we're going to create the rectangular cutout to separate the rounded arms. From the Sketch tab, select the Corner Rectangle tool. Move your cursor to this lower edge and click to set the first point. Then move the cursor vertically to the right and click again to set the end point of the rectangle. And now let's define the dimensions. Set the horizontal length to 56 millimeters. Set the vertical length to 50 millimeters. Set the distance from this vertical line to this vertical edge to 15 millimeters. Once all the dimensions are applied, the sketch should be fully defined. Next, go to the Features tab and select Extruded Cut. Under the Direction 1 drop-down, select Up to Surface, and select the top face of this angled surface. Then confirm with the green tick. And that's it. The cut feature is created. Now let's move on to the cutout on the top face of the base feature. Let's take a quick look at the drawing to understand the key dimensions for this small cutout on the top surface of the base. The rectangle cut has a length of 46 millimeters and a width of 10 millimeters, and it is placed 20 millimeters from the side edges, which keeps the cut at the center of the base. And this cut goes straight through to the bottom surface. Now keep these dimensions in mind and sketch the slot exactly as shown in the drawing. Let's get started. Go to the Sketch tab and select the Sketch tool. Then click the top surface of this base feature to set it as the sketching plane. Next, from the Sketch tab, select the Corner Rectangle tool. Move your cursor to this top edge and click to set the first point. Then move the cursor vertically downward to the right and click again to set the opposite corner of the rectangle. After creating the rectangle, let's add the dimensions. Set the length of this rectangle to 46 millimeters and the width to 10 millimeters. Then set the distance between this vertical line and this vertical edge to 20 millimeters. Once these dimensions are applied, the sketch should be fully defined. Now go to the Features tab and select Extruded Cut. Under the Direction 1 drop-down, choose Through All, and confirm the feature with the green tick. And that's it. The cut feature is created. Now let's create the counterbore hole on the front face of this base feature. Take a quick look at the drawing to understand the key dimensions for this counterbore. The outer diameter is 50 millimeters, the inner diameter is 20 millimeters, and the counterbore depth is 10 millimeters. The hole is positioned 42 millimeters from the top edge and 43 millimeters from the side edges. Keep these dimensions in mind and sketch the profile exactly as shown in the drawing. Let's get started. From the Features tab, select the Hole Wizard tool. In the Hole Property Manager, under the Type tab, select Counterbore as the hole type and set the standard to ANSI metric since the drawing uses millimeters. Select Socket Head Cap Screw from the Type drop-down, then choose M20 for the hole size and keep the fit set to normal. Since the hole dimensions in the drawing are not a standard size, so we'll customizing them here. Select the Show Custom Size checkbox, then enter 20 mm for the inner diameter, 50 mm for the outer diameter, and 10 mm for the counterbore depth. Under the End Condition drop-down, select Through All. Now go to the Positions tab. Place the hole on the vertical block as shown, then add the dimensions. Set the vertical distance from the upper edge to the hole's center to 42 mm, and set the horizontal distance from the side edge to the hole's center to 43 mm. Go back to the Type tab and clear the Near Side Countersink checkbox, and then confirm with the green tick. And that's it. Our model is now complete. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next practice exercise. You can also check the playlist for more 3D modeling tutorials and keep improving step by step. See you in the next one!